Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Welcome back to another high level best of 5. Today we have special in the bottom right as our teal, I think it is teal, Terran player. And in the bottom left we have none other than our red Zerg Armani as they're chattering away. These two players of course used to live together in a house, roommates. Just the two of them I believe shared a house. I don't think there was anyone else there, if I recall correctly. Seems like they're reminiscing about old times. Armani with the remember, some laughing, some more laughing in Korean. I don't know what this is. It seems like two eyes. So yeah, they seem to be having a little blast here. Now, this is played in the most recent Oli Molik Invitation number 12. And in this tournament, every single map matters. So even if the score is 3-0, they will continue playing until every single map has finished. This is TY, by the way. Taejang is the name of TY. Seems like they're discussing food with TY. Very, very cool here. As Armani seems to be having the time of his life with all these zzz. And they're talking about the time when they were living together. Like, do you remember there? They had a good meal. I was pretty spot on there. TY bought food for them, something like that. Okay, yeah, so very, very cool. Amazing stuff. All right, CC first here for special. Like I said, every map matters. Every map is worth, I believe, $41 in this tournament. So it's pretty decent pay for a 10-12 minute game. Or well, in Special's case, often a little bit longer, as he likes these long games. Especially in the TVZ matchups, he likes getting a couple of mech units out, sitting back, eventually teching into Ghost and kind of playing from there. Oh man, they're really chatting away. I'm completely incapable of doing this. I'm really impressed by this always. When people just chat there, like I'll forget my first pylon, I'll forget my second pylon, I'll forget my gateway and my cyber core. Like if someone chats with me, I start panicking. Like, I'm absolutely incapable of multitasking in this game of StarCraft 2. I'm already not brilliant when it comes to just playing the game without any distractions. But you add in any distractions whatsoever and yeah, it's just over for me. We have that factory going down right now, as well as this barracks being put in position with a second marine. That's interesting. You're gonna get a second marine out. This is all of a single gas as well. Armani will scout that there's no Reaper yet. Build 0 links. Not a single link has been built so far. That is kind of sick, honestly. It's very good. Now, I'm not sure if Special's aware that there's an overlord here. I don't think he is. I think Special is completely blind right at this moment. Knows nothing. He's getting a 3rd CC already. This is really fast. So CC first, before barracks, into straight away a triple CC. Double marines, getting those Hellions out, and I guess there's going to be a starport as well. I am not sure what you can follow this up with. Is it going to be battle cruisers? Will it perhaps just be Banshee or a Viking into a Liberator and then some bio? Like, there's a lot of options here that we kind of need to keep in mind as this factory is patiently waiting for this barracks to finally lift off. Now I'm starting to doubt whether this is really what teal looks like. I'm never good with any of these colors. Is this what cyan looks like, maybe? Cyan or green. This feels like it's steel, or maybe just light blue or baby blue. Maybe it's none of these weird names. I hate colors. Just want like a red, blue, yellow. You know, this is all I need in life. With those colors, I can do everything else. I remember back in high school, I did art, and then sometimes we had to mix color, and no matter which colors I added, it always ended up brown. So I was the absolute king of mixing the brown color. If someone needed a different shade of brown, I knew exactly my way around brown. But you needed orange or you needed green. I'm not your guy, my friend. But brown, mix all of them together. And if it's not brown enough, you just mix more of them together. And surely it will turn brown. It's the easiest color to mix. It truly is. So if any of you want to buy a bucket of brown paint, and just buy, 3-4 different buckets of paint, mix them all together and you get brown. That way you might save some money if brown is like a specialized color or something like that. See? Quick tips here, saving money. Did not expect that at the HarstemCasts channel. Yet here we are. It's going to be a, oh my god, a fusion core after opening up with a Banshee as well. Now, I've seen a lot of weird build orders out of Special in my time. Oh, he built the Banshee because... Okay, no, we'll talk about this later. For now, we have a Roach Rush. As I was talking about mixing paint colors and always getting brown. It seems like our good friend Armani was planning on doing a little bit of pressure. Well, more like a semi-all-in. Triple Bunker is going to finish up. Special does not really need to pull these. I think these SCVs can just go back to mining. Fantastic hold. Now, one of the things that a lot of the top Terrans do is when they want to be building a battle cruiser, is that they'll start a Banshee initially. Not because they want the Banshee, but in case they're getting Roach all in, they can let the Banshee finish. And you're not using the starport anyway at that point while your fusion core is building, and you have a lot of money left over, so you might as well, right? It's just one of these things that has no downside, except that if you forget to cancel the Banshee, you actually end up with a Banshee, which I'm sure has happened to some people in the past, but Special this time wanted to let it finish because he was indeed getting Roach all in. So this was one of these scenarios where you see one of these kind of these safety measures kind of come into action. Kind of show, hey, this is why people do that. Because usually there's a lot of things, like, for example, in PvT, I always scout behind my natural, except no one ever proxies me in my natural, because they all know that I scout behind my natural. And then sometimes you get, like, these Korean players that don't know that I always scout behind my natural. They throw the barracks there, and I'm like, this is why I do it. It feels very good when that happens. It also has really no downside scouting behind your natural. And very often people do like to build a barracks there if you don't scout there. I lost too many games to it, then I just started scouting every single game. I guess theoretically I could do it like 85% of the time and be fine. And then against weaker players do it 100% of the time. That way, you know, you can maybe sometimes trick some better players into actually putting the barracks there. Might actually be good. Like, it's good percentages, you know, 85. And it's basically a free win. So I maybe should start. I should not have mentioned that. No one watches this. I'll be fine. Creep tumors are getting pretty far out on the map. This Hellion run by is ambitious. As Roach is still out. There's a bunch of links here as well. These creep tumors are going to get taken out though. This Banshee is also putting in some work. This battle cruiser killed 5 workers so far. Oh, my microphone arm. My apologies. As Armani did already spot all of these barracks as well. So he knows there's just a single battle cruiser into bio. Cool little start here. I think Special is ahead. I mean, he's... Ooh, alright. Look at you, Armani, going straight into that hive. The Lurker Den as well. 1-1 upgrades on range rather than on melee. So we're continuing this path of Roach, Hydra, Viper into Lurkers eventually. Battlecruiser teleports back home. Will need to get repaired. Overseer realizes that this PC indeed is coming for him. As Special, if he micros this Overseer will die rather quick. Of course, the PC can't shoot while moving. Does not seem like it's being microed. So then you get this stop. Like this acceleration, and then actually I think the word for slowing down is also accelerating. No, I don't think decelerating is a word. I once said that and then someone called me out in the comments, but I actually never fact checked it. It is what it is. Alright, Marines are going to get picked up here. 1-1 will finish up as well, and I think Special might be... Oh my god, these Vipers are fast. I was gonna say he might be capable of doing some push, but it feels like despite that early Roach push, Armani isn't actually in that bad of a spot. He seems to be completely fine. This is 8-minute Vipers. These are the fastest Vipers I've seen in my life, and this was off of an initial Roach push. Imagine how fast he could have gotten them without the Roach push. They would have been on the other side of the map already. Like, this is before combat shield finishes, Vipers are out. That is not okay. That is really weird. It's rare for me to see that. To be fair, not a lot of people play this type of Roach style, so it's already kind of odd to see this Roach style. Now, we do have hopefully some Hydras on the way. Yep, we do. And as the Lurker Den has finished, I believe this is going to be pretty tricky right now for Special to do any major damage. It is a 4-base map, by the way. We haven't really discussed this, but all of these maps are a little bit different than the ones... Hello? Alright, that's a dead BC. All of these maps are a little bit different than the ladder maps, as this, I believe the theme of the tournament was tired of the ladder maps. That's literally the theme of this Ollie Molly. So they have all maps that aren't being played on the ladder. This is Nautilus, one of the GSL maps. It's a 4-player map, which also is very 4-base focused. Now, you have some beautiful siege positions here, obviously. You have a big Ling run by being set up, but should not be capable of doing anything. As A, these Lings have no damage whatsoever, no upgrades. And B, seems like a single Banshee was capable of stopping it. Special's just kind of attacking into this, and it feels like he's killing Armani right now. Armani did not quite get a single lurker out, and is paying the price right now. He wanted to wait until he got those seismic spines, getting the adrenal glands as well, and while he was stacking into 6 different directions at once, Special was just focusing on getting a bio army out with 8 barracks. The 4cc was pretty delayed as well. Yeah, he just had a lot of production here. He's had a lot of crap. And it seemed like Armani did not have a lot of crap, and no matter how cool your army is, no matter how quick your Vipers are or how fast your Lurker then, if you don't have a lot of crap and your opponent has a lot of crap, most of the time you're just going to end up dying, and that's exactly what happened here. As these medevacs with the Marauders and the Marines are continuing their little rampage. The Vipers throw down some Blinding Clouds. GG gets called, and as they were reminiscing of the good times, Special was the one living more in the moment right now and managed to snatch game number 1. Alrighty, game number 2 will be played over here on... Alrighty, game number 2 will be played over here on Roughneck, one of the other GSL maps. And that's the actual name of the map. Roughneck. I'm not quite sure how they come up with these names, but I'm loving it. Roughneck, Nautilus. Yeah, some good names. Actually, some good names. I haven't watched too many games on this map, as it tends to get vetoed. But some cool features of this map include these rocks with this the little passage, the idiot passage in there. And I think there was one player that tried to bunker rush with it and absolutely failed. I cannot recall if it was Dream or Bunny. I want to say it was Dream versus DRG who actually tried this. And DRG absolutely ended up owning that game with Muralin Bane. Actually, it was Dream, yeah. It can also, of course, function as a bit of a tank position. In general, you wonder if tanks over here might be quite powerful. I don't think they can be positioned here, and these doodads will take care of the broken drill with the... It's like Vespine guys are like storage containers, something like that. Or wheels. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it looks weird. You have these kind of semi-neutral bases with these helicopter pads on them. And I say semi-neutral as usually they initially at least belong to the Zerg, as of course faraway bases are harder to take for Terran, and it is really far out. It also means that it forces Terran to be aggressive towards these bases, so you'll have less camp fest, and I think that might actually be something of a good thing very often. Now, we have a command center being thrown down here on the low ground. Whoop. And a block on this third base. This actually is a feature of this map, is that the third base is really difficult to take anywhere else but here. And that means that a single SCV patrolling on the base can stop it from being taken. And I guess Armani is aware of that. He didn't even try to send a drone over there. Could still try and send it now. And it just means that the third base is going to be a little bit delayed. And that will be very, very frustrating for him. This is not something that you usually want. He's going to get a faster third queen as a result. And probably you even want to get that... Ooh, special look for a kill on the creep door. I'm going to get it, yeah. Even going to get that extra overlord here. So that is the... was that the third overlord? No, that's the fourth overlord. Ooh, pneumatized carapace. Okay. Okay. Okay, I see you. I see that. That is really cool. Overlord speed. Of course, against a player like Special, who likes to switch it up. And there's a couple of tricks up his sleeve. An entire deck of cards. Woo! Hello? That is not an okay way. You think you could put a tank here? Submerged under the water? Or mines. Imagine mines. Fly over with an oracle. Like a submarine jumping out of the water. I think you have these birds that do it the other way around, no? These birds that at very high speed fly towards the water and then splash into it to try and catch fish. I think. Or is it fish that jump out of the water to catch birds? I can't remember now. Maybe it's both. I bet it's birds though. Imagine a big fish jumping out to catch a bird. That would be really sick. I guess that's kind of what like a whale does as well. No? They eat penguins that are on the surface. I think that's what whales do. It sounds like something that whales would do. I'm not so familiar with the animal kingdom. I'm gonna reveal. I once watched a movie on the seas. In one of these, you know, you're sitting in there and it's basically this movie all around you. But I was surprised how relatively low the quality of the movie still was. Like I'm not saying you could count pixels, but because it's so stretched out, you know, it isn't quite as tight. It was a nice movie, was about eating kelp, stuff like that. I think, the Sea World, it was number 2. It showed that the ice caps were melting and that the kelp was disappearing. I remember reading a very long part about kelp. I'd never heard about kelp until that day in my life. Of course I knew the Dutch word, but I hadn't heard of it in English yet. Yeah, a long talk about kelp. You leave your... Wait, what happened here? Wait, a starport? Excuse me, I've not been paying attention. His Liberator must have also gotten some kills. He proxied a starport to get a Liberator out across the map very fast. It's something I've never seen in my life. 30C is a little bit delayed. There's a lot of Hellions. This is 8. He's going to try to go for a run by. This absolutely will not work. Loses a Hellion as a result. There's very little queens here, by the way. Only 6 queens. I'd like to put some attention there. I'd like... Alright. This is the most random starport that I've seen in my entire life. What you doing, buddy? What you doing? You're just going to be building a couple of medevacs here in the middle of the map. I guess it's not going to get spotted for a while. Imagine though if Armani ends up playing Muta. Like this is free pickings. You're going to get that absolutely for free at some point. Your Mutas will fly over, maybe over this little bit of water. I wonder if this is also a Reaper jump or if it's just this one. I'm kind of curious if I've been missing Reaper jumps in my life. I wish the Reaper is still alive. Maybe we get to see it. But I try to like go around the corner. I wish there was more things like this. Imagine this also was a Reaper spot. You could drop a mine here in the trenches. You could put like some Marines there and you wouldn't be able to see them. Or like line of sight blockers on top of it. In the water. That would be pretty sick. That actually would be pretty sick. Oh, no, this is not a jump spot. See that Reaper? You had to go around the corner like an idiot. He tried to jump in, but the water was too cold. And he did not want to swim with the fishes. Did not feel like it. Fort base is being thrown down here, as well as a spire. Now, let's take a look at what actually is happening. 5 barracks being thrown down right now. Double barracks, very standard opener. Very standard opener. The Hellions moving towards the left side. Cool move out of special. I like that. Kind of keeping these units split, you know? Hellions on one side, making sure that there's no run-bys, at the same time forcing at least some queens to stay over here. Makes life just a little bit harder. At the same time, with this double drop moving in, wanting to snipe that fort base, does not quite get it, needs to pick up here very soon. Control is good so far though, hello? Does lose a couple more Marines than he ideally would have. The first 6 Mutas are now on the way, and I'm starting to fear for this starport with the reactor. I really am starting to fear for that starport with the reactor. Bailing drops at the same time. Fantastic play. And the Terran not responding whatsoever here. Special ends up losing every single worker in the mineral line. That means he's currently at 45 workers against 74. And even if he takes out this hatchery, which is starting to feel somewhat likely, life will not be brilliant for him. A lot of these Hellions are going to get taken out. Is there any Banelings remaining? There is not. 6 more Banes are on the way. Actually... Special might be almost killing his opponent here. He's up in supply, he's up in upgrades. And as Armani was focusing a lot on dealing damage on the other side of the map, he kind of forgot that he also needed to defend. Banelings are going to start rolling forward right now. Big tank shots, good target fire out of Special, who's getting a lot of damage with this push. Does not want to get hit by any of these Banelings. And so far the goal just seems to be to take out this fort base. I wouldn't mind if Armani just already starts expanding towards the left side. He has 1600 minerals in the bank currently. Is not producing anything big either. All the queens are pulled off. There's no extra queens in position. Actually, just the queen in the main is pulled off. There's no injects here either. He could just throw down 4 extra hatcheries at this point, and nothing would change in this fight. Here come the Banelings trying to connect. Will not quite get the connections that they need, but one tank will get taken out. Still 1200 minerals in the bank, 800 gas. This is well, 2.4k resources basically here for Armani that are not being used and have not been used for a very long time. Now finally he takes this 5th base. Did this drop? No, he just tried to poke in, see what's going on. Special with a little bit of a supply block as well. Still supply block. Uses a depot drop into supply block. Very frustrating here for the Mexican Terran player. Does have plenty of energy though, so can repeat that trick a couple more times. Instead will opt for some mules. Still supply blocked. Is not gaining any extra army supply. 2-2 has started already. 8 more Mutas on the way right now. So Armani is trying to spend this money, but this fort base on the left side is also going to be taken out. At least I don't really see a way for Armani to defend that. There is 10 mutas out currently. 1-1 is finishing up as well for the Zerg player. Creep is being denied left, right, and well, so far not in the center, but I guess the center is going to be next. Special is going to continue his push out right now. Has more medifacts on the way. He's still supply blocked. He's just literally been supply blocked for the past minute and a half. He dropped another depot. He just hasn't built any depots. Literally a minute and a half without getting any extra depots. This is extremely painful for the Terran. He could have had so many more units here. Now Armani is going to try and fight off creep. Target fire on the banelings needs to be very, very good. It seems to be okay-ish. Splits are fine, but the tail end of that engagement, a lot of connections do end up happening. And not the type of connections that you get at a speed dating event. No, these are not the good type of connections. Let me tell you that much. Muta's still alive. Tanks are going to get taken out as well. This is feeling very, very poor for Special all of a sudden. Who, after denying both fort bases, it felt like he was in somewhat of a reasonable position. He lost 16 workers, of course, in that the early part of the mid game. And that has been, you know, delaying his extra eco, delaying his second factory even to a certain extent. His unit production not as high as it probably should have been, but it feels like if he wasn't supply blocked for so long, he would have been capable of probably winning that fight with the extra units, or at least fighting that fight a little more evenly. Especially because it was off creep. Let's not forget that. That was an off creep fight. We can also, of course, debate on whether it was the correct timing to fight, with 2-2 on the way, the opponent just finishing 1-1. Maybe after you deny the fort base 2 times, you go home and you kind of say, hey, I want to wait for my 2-2 and then we can fight again once I have like 4-5 tanks, maybe a Thor in there, a couple of mines. Like right now, a push-out timing is still completely viable here for Special. He moves out with 2 parts of his army, 1 army on the left side, 1 army over here on the right side, and wants to try and start fighting. And I really like this. This is the correct way to play against mutas. The issues though, or the issue for Special, is that his army supply is about even right now, where earlier it was a lot bigger. If he would have waited, that might have been better for him, of course. If he would have known how bad that fight would have gone, and he would not have taken it. So it's kind of unfair in a way. 2 turrets are here in the natural, and this will force Special back home, at least with a part of his army, as this army has been kind of doing nothing anyway, so I don't think it's going to matter too much. Thor will jump into action immediately. Ooh, there's a lot of mutas going down there. I think that ended up being 2-3 mutas. Not sure how many died before, so opening up the unit loss step is completely useless there. Did it anyway. Thor's going to get taken out here as all the marines... No, sorry, 8 marines and a Thor gets saved. Ooh, that was a big hit. That actually was a very big hit. These mutas are going to get pushed back as well. Special once again in the lead, merely because Armani wasn't building anything. Now that he starts 10 mutalisks, going up to 25. This might actually be kind of scary for Special, because without any turrets in the natural, without any Thors close by, all these mutas. If 25 mutas show up in a base where there's no turret and there's no defense, or just a single turret, yeah, that could make life pretty difficult. It could make life pretty difficult. However, Special is planning to defend by attacking. He says, hey, if I have all my units on your side of the map, how can you counterattack? And just like that, Armani says, well, look at this, my friend. I have a little trick I want to show you, and it's called sending all my mutas to your base and all my links as well. These banelings could connect with these mines that are relatively clumped up. Mines trying to get in position to get shots off. Does not quite get it. There's not a single baneling in this army, though. 3-3 is going to get cancelled, or at least, yep, 3-3 is going to get cancelled. His 5th base will get taken out. Thor is going to get targeted down. And honestly, not too many of these mutas are dying yet, but the Thors are trying their best to make that happen. Oh, one more shot, 2 more mutas going down. How many do we have? 20. That means 5 mutas at least have fallen at this point, and the turrets will go to work as well. 2 more will go down. 15 mutas total have fallen. Okay, yeah, that is 8 mutas that died here. Is that worth sniping the upgrades? I think it is. Also still has links in position, but the mines will take care of that. No adrenal glands yet on these links. Thor will stay alive no matter what, though. Repair will help out. This is a very aggressive game here. And I think now finally the starboard gets spotted, but still hasn't been taken out. There's 1 mine with this army. We'll try to burrow. Do we have any burrowed banes? No, we do not. Creep also isn't as plentiful as it once was. especially on this left side. These rocks have not been taken down yet either, which means that these tanks can get into a really nice, beautiful position. Once again, a big run by is being sent out. Couple of mines. No, they burrow at the perfect moment for Armani and the worst possible moment here for Special, revealing their location. Oh, interesting stim. Let's see if these links can get the wraparound. They can. And they will be capable of dealing enough damage here as well. At the same time, Special still moving in. Needs to be careful with the control here. Needs to be careful with the control. Gets a good pickup. Picks up absolutely everything here. At the same time, the Mutas in his natural are dealing a crap ton of damage. Thor is about to jump out. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Thor. There we go. Oh, mines. Mines jumping in as well. We'll get the burrow off. We'll get the burrow off. One. Dish. Big shot on a lot of these Mutalisks. At the same time, Special slowly but surely pushing forward. That's a single tank that is moving in right now. This is not a position you want to be engaging in if you're Armani. That is way too clumped up. And the tank in the back, the Marines behind the tank, just dishing out so much damage. Natural has fallen right now for Special. This starport is somehow, some way still alive. I cannot quite believe it. Oh, okay. Right side base is mining. This base is going to get taken out. There's a big hit. That was really important. Those were some really important hits, actually. If those hits don't happen, actually, nah, Ultra's on the way already as well. Ultras are a complete game changer here because the Marauder count is only 3. The mine count is 8, which is a significant number of mines, but against 4 or 5 Ultras, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Mines get a couple of decent hits in as well. I mean, this gets pushed back right now. I don't think Armani can continue engaging here. No, he can apparently. Oh, he definitely can continue engaging. GG gets called. Armani picks up the game with the secret starport that never really stayed hidden for too long, but stayed alive the entire game. We can't say that about all of his Marine friends and the medevacts that he produced. Yeah, game number 2 over. We'll be heading into game number 3. Game number 5 will be played over here on Golden Wall. Special versus Armani, of course. Still are 2 players. We'll have to wait and see what they have planned. Now, this is a map where you can have a lot of cool stuff planned. This actually is one of my not a favorite map to play, but one of my favorite maps to watch on, because the strategic diversity that this map encourages is very large. And there's a couple of reasons for that. You have this kind of tricky to hold gold base that could potentially be a third for a Terran player, or for a Zerg, or for a Protoss. For TOS a little bit less, because TOS is very reliant on that early gas on the third base. Well, Zerg, it's nice to have a lot of gas on the third base, but because you get your fort so fast, staying on 7 gas is often fine. You can also expand to the natural in the back of the base. You can take the third base on this side, which is something we see Terrans do sometimes, floating in CC here, saying, hey, I don't need the gas, I'm going to be playing a largely marine mine style, and then continuing expanding on the bottom side. You can really play both sides of the map, and I think Golden Wall is the one map that in the past years has, as a map, inspired the most creativity out of players. It's like I said, it's not always been a favorite to play, especially against Zerg when Queen walks. We're very, very good. And they take the gold and then start walking their queens, and then you take the gold, or they just walk over here. And the rush distance was very short. But in general, it's a very good map that provided a crap ton of fun games. And although maybe not the most balanced map, I don't think that really matters if it provides a lot of good games. In general, I think it's one of the things that maybe we should be looking at a little bit, is increasing the numbers of maps. This is a suggestion that has been thrown around for a long time already, is rather than having 7 maps, it's just having like 15 maps in the map pool, and increasing the amount of vetoes that people can do, so that you can have matchup specific maps. Rather than having to balance a map for all 3 matchups, you can say, hey, this map is going to be complete garbage in both PvT and PvZ, and in TVZ as well, but in PvP it will be really fun and have all of these cool little neat tricks. That is something that we could do in that case. Something that I think would be really sick. You do of course need 15 playable maps then, and you need to get people to really invest into making a map for a matchup. If you just get 15 standard maps, there really is no point. At least not in my mind, at least. Now, first Reaper is moving across the map, and he's going to force. They got one. Did they get a link or a drone kill? Actually got a drone kill and force 2 spores. That's a pretty decent of a start here, honestly. I do not mind that at all. Reaper once again is going to jump up as he's hungry for more. Not quite sure if he can get more though. Ooh, okay, he's dead. He's absolutely dead right now. Good attempt, special, but that Reaper is gonzo. And the third CC is on the way. Hopefully the first Hellions are going to be produced. Yeah, sometimes you see Zergs run their links across the map after they kill the Reaper. Armani not going to be like that this time around. Throws down a Roach Warren after killing the Reaper though, and also starts an Extractor. And this is one of the other cool things. Like, special on any other map, he would be capable of scouting with the Hellions and saying, hey, you don't have this gold base. Hey, you don't have this. This is your third base. You don't have a third. But now, because of this map, Special doesn't know if these minerals are being mined from. So in order to scout that, he would need to mine out 2 patches in the middle of the map and then check if there's a third base over here. Because right now, just seeing no third base in this location or in this location actually is no information whatsoever. It gives him 0 info. And because this does not really look like a 2-base setup either, I really like this. I actually really like this type of playstyle. Because Special scouts this, and he could throw down a bunker right now. He could be thinking to himself, hey, like, what's going on? I need to scout a little bit more, perhaps. But he doesn't know for sure. There is no confirmation at this point in time that there is no third base. There is the suspicion, perhaps. Perhaps there is a suspicion. But that is all that it can be. And Special probably doesn't even have a suspicion. He's not scouting with his Hellions right now. His Reaper is dead. And he is going to be in a world of trouble. This, well, it's not the same, but a very similar build order, similar concept as we saw in game number 1. We have a heavy Roach Ravager push. Actually, this is a lot more all-in and it's hitting a lot quicker. The last, oh my god, he's going to miss it with the Hellions as well. Hellions going to be caught on the wrong side of the wall. Cannot even really help out right now in the defense against the Lynx. And that means that they're going to try to fight a single Roach and 2 Lynx. They'll get the Lynx, but they won't get the Roach. Biles are raining down from the sky already. Both of these E-bays are going to get cancelled. The Orbital is landing at the gold. Hellions are going to get taken out by the Lynx. Single Ravager here dealing a lot of damage as well. 7 workers have already fallen. There's not enough unit production to hold everything. And I think Armani is actually going in for the kill. We see 14 more Lynx being produced. Hatchery is on the way as well at the third base, so he can eventually transition out of it, but he needs to deal a little bit more damage first. And he really does need to deal more damage. This is not enough yet, because the worker count is currently even, and he's still down a base. More workers are now falling. This high ground might be holding. Biles will connect with a couple of these Marines. More Marines are going to get taken out. Yeah, Armani is just in this base right now. More Lynx streaming in, and yeah, if you lose 8-9 more workers here, yeah, this game is looking very poor right now for our Mexican Terran player. The Ravagers stay alive for a little longer, one-shotting these mines. The damage output of Ravagers is so darn beautiful. GG gets called. Armani wins game number 3, puts himself up 2-1 in this best of 5. Game number 4, and we're back once again here on Roughneck, as apparently that's also the 4th map. I think we might just end with the Nautilus as the final map. So we play, what was it, Nautilus, Roughneck, Golden Wall, Roughneck, Nautilus. Kind of like a ABC, BA type of format. Ooh, it's going to be a triple Rex Reaper here. There's a spot for another 3rd barracks, which is somewhat exciting, honestly. I do enjoy that. I do like watching a triple Rex or a double Rex Reaper. Seems to be closer to a double Rex than to a triple Rex, as there's no 3rd Rex going down yet. This can be played for a long time out of a single gas as well, if I recall correctly. I think you can build the first 3 Reapers out of a single gas. I don't think you can get any further than 3. I could be wrong, of course. How much gas? It costs 50 gas. They take 32 seconds. I need to do math. Yeah, I don't think you're capable of getting Reaper 5. Maybe Reaper 4 is possible. Reaper 3 definitely is going to be possible. A little bit of time. After this, the CC will be kind of quick still. Triple Reaper. So the question is, will the Triple Reaper pay off here? We did not have an SCV scout. No SCV scout whatsoever. That means that there's a little bit more money for Special. And that allows him to do a build like this, I guess. First Reaper's moving in. This is a small map. This Reaper arrived really early. 4:24 it arrived. That is very quick. Wow. That actually is really quick. That gives almost 10 unchecked seconds without the queen there. Because 435, 436, usually that queen pops. So yeah, that's kind of beautiful. Factory's being built right now. So it's going to be triple Reaper into double Marine and then a factory. This is a really cute build order. And this can just go into like a 2-1-1 type of setup here, I guess. Is that what we're going for right now? So a reactor initially and then followed up by a tech lab. Second gas being taken as well. It looks a lot to me like this is going to be some weird follow-up. One worker almost dies there. Reaper 2 and 3 are here. Cool little build. Very nice. Hope that he gets 1 or 2 worker kills at least, because getting nothing would be painful. I mean, he forces out a lot of units with this. Gets 3 drones as well. This is a good start. This actually is a good start here for Special. He's going to try and loop back in. I don't think that is possible. Yeah, these Reapers definitely do need to end up jumping out here. Metabolic Boost is about to finish up as well. And the time for harassment has ended right now. As these Reapers... Ooh, they could take a nice bath in the pool. Let's not forget about that. Not in this one though, boys. It's not allowed. You can't go there. Look at the water. Can you see the direction that it flows in? No, we do see it hit the sides. Like the waves. Kind of jumps up. Cool. I like these little graphic details. These detailed graphics. Not the graphic details. That's slightly different. The order of words does matter sometimes. 3rd CC gets scouted by that Overlord. Hellions are on the way. Oh, it's going to be mech. Oh. Okay. Interesting build. It's fairly obvious what's happening though. If you're Armani right now, I think it is fairly obvious. The body of that Ling almost, you know, it kind of went far enough to spot the fusion core, but he died over here. The body just kept going. I think with the body, he might, he also wouldn't have seen the fusion core. And also, how do you text back home that there's a fusion core if you don't have a body anymore? That's of course not possible. That is ridiculous. A stupid concept that would be. Not lore accurate. Okay, so we do have that fusion core about to finish up. And then the Banshee will be cancelled. So here we see that Banshee that paid off so much in game number 1. This time around it will get cancelled because there is no roach attack. And it's going to be a battle cruiser instead. But Special is supply block, so you can't start that battle cruiser yet. Double Evil on the way, 6 more links as well. This little hole makes it really easy to hold any type of Hellions there on the top side. You just plug it with like a queen and a half and you're fine. Don't really have to pay attention to that. Like, what's he gonna do? Attack into queens? I don't think so. You have transfuses. You have a lot of damage. You can't repair the Hellions on the job. Ooh, with the Reapers though, might be capable of bouncing them away. Yeah, that's the plan. Ah, that's kind of cute. Actually gets in. Ooh. Double Reaper here. Still alive. Definitely being useful. Tanking a bit of damage and then healing up again, of course. Definitely also helps. Factory 2 and 3 on the way. 3rd CC is already in location. Special is down 22 workers currently, with a 4th base on the way. 1-1 being researched and the Roach War. And I think this is the point where Armani realizes what's kicking off. He says, "Hey, wait a second. This is kind of weird, isn't it? You're doing something funky. I do not like that. I do not like that." Maybe he spotted the barracks floating in the sky. Of course, a dead giveaway that indeed it is mech. The first battle cruiser is out. Where's it going to teleport? I think it's going to teleport forward here with the Hellions. That's indeed what it does. And here we go. Link's trying to move into position to get us around on these Hellions. So far, not really succeeding. 13 Hellions still on the map. And after this fight, 11 remain. Links are trying to once again get this around, or at least get a little bit of damage. Drones moving back into position. Do they get what they want? No, they don't. Well, meh. Not the greatest start here for the Hellions. A lot of links do end up falling, and a lot of links have been produced, but the entire map control has been removed from Special right now. Special sees the Spire be built right in front of him, and knows that that's most likely not going to be Mura, but Corruptor instead. A lot of workers have gone down, and a lot of links have been overproduced. Or sorry, a lot of links have gone down, a couple of workers have gone down, and a lot of links were produced. So, I guess the damage is okay. Special is up in workers right now, where earlier it was 66 workers against 44. Right now it's 59 against 63 in favor of Special. Second battle cruiser gets teleported across the map. You of course spotted that Spire, wants to target it down, and is going to get it. Hello? I don't think that extractor is going to be the I really thought he was gonna target down this spire. I think he could have gotten it as well if he would have just right-clicked it, no? Yeah, prefers getting drones. It's a understandable thing to do as well. These Hellions are being controlled and thus they will not die. Tanks in the natural will stop the links as well. Once again, a tiny bit of a supply block here for special. It's kind of been the theme of this series so far. 7 drones go down, so do 4 SCVs though. But special I don't think lost anything. And on the other hand... no wait, he lost one of the BCs. That's actually really sloppy. That should never happen. They're like infinite HP. They're like 700 HP or something. I'm not actually sure how much HP they have. I feel like 700, 750? 650? That's a bit much, no? Well, he's gonna get repaired, so we'll figure it out. I don't actually know. And they also can teleport, which is a big thing. Double command centers being constructed right now. Yeah, I'm really curious. I would not have known what the HP is. Is 600? Looks like 600, no? 550? Maybe just 500. So little. 550 is gonna be. Okay. Wow, still a lot of HP. There actually is a crap ton of HP. Holy cow. They are throwing darts at it with your queen. Not even sure if it's working. Are we going through the armor? And then eventually you see it starting to burn. Well, these corruptors are a little bit quicker though, of course. First Yamato gets used. Good teleport. Both of these BCs should not die. There is a teleport available. Hello? Well, that did not work. That did absolutely not work. Oh, beautiful split here out of Armani as well. It's just barely going to miss it. No, ends up finding it. Yamato gets used and this BC also gets taken out. I think this one actually could have been repaired though. 1 Yamato. Then the Marines move into position. Repair with like 12 workers. And you're gonna end up losing maybe these armories even. That would really, really suck. That is 3 BCs that have already gone down this game. Now this armory also gets taken out. There's not quite enough P anymore in these corruptors to take out the second armory. But luckily for Armani, that's only the vehicle plating. Not quite as important as the vehicle weapons. Now, the supply still is fine for Special. Special still has a lot of money in the bank as well. And he has a decent eco. Well, decent. He has a fantastic eco with 83 workers. He's also trying to deal a little more damage with these Hellions. Look at this. If he gets the shots that he wants on these drones, that would be huge. Does not get the initial shots that he wants. Actually, yeah, not great. Maybe one more shot. 9. No, you're gonna sacrifice 6 Hellions like that. You want like 14, 15 workers, not more nor less. Turrets will help out in stopping these corruptors from doing, well, honestly anything anymore. Cyclones also helping out here. 2 corruptors will fall, but the role of the corruptor has kind of been outplayed here. It's over. At least it feels somewhat over. Don't think there's going to be any more battle cruisers. The role of the corruptor in this game can be kind of compared to the role of Mufasa in The Lion King after the 4th scene. So it's kind of over. He'll be referred to in the future again, but he will not be making an appearance. Command center is gonna get taken out. Turrets are taking out these corruptors. 12 workers also end up falling. This is an interesting, pretty interesting fight here that happened. There's plenty of command centers left over though. Actually, if he gets the +1 again, I love that. I wonder if Armani realized what happened. So you can click on the units and see, hey, they have the +1 armor. But they do not have the +1 attack. And then as a result of that, maybe Armani knew which armory was now researching the attack as well. Because he remembered which armory got killed or something like that. Wouldn't surprise me completely. Would not have surprised me completely. There's Mutas on the way actually. That's kind of wild. Not just a few Mutas, 18 Mutas. There's 2 Thors out. They're in the wrong mode. They're going to immediately switch back. There's also plenty of turrets. I feel like this is literally the only way that Armani could have lost. This is possibly the only way where he can give his opponent a fighting chance, is by switching into Mutalisk. Because what is the point? You kind of have your opponent contained on 4 base already, without needing the Mutalisk. You could have just tacked into anything else, Literally anything. You could have gone Ravager Ling Bane forever, basically, taking every single base on the map. But now with Mutas, it almost feels like you're forcing yourself to deal damage with these Mutas. Well, you don't actually want to be dealing damage into a 4-base Terran. You want to just be sitting back. You're also allowing Special, perhaps, to make a push. I mean, you have this much supply in air units that do not fight well whatsoever. Yeah, Special could just make a push with 2-2. It is a possibility. Ling Run By will get in, kill a lot of crap. Ghost Academy is gonna get taken out. Didn't even realize there was a Ghost Academy yet. No 5th command center here yet. There's of course that 4th orbit on the main base. Vehicle weapons level 2 gets denied. That is just really unfortunate here for Special. Halberds will not die against the Lynx, but good run by. Back into roaches, yeah. It seems like these Mutas were a mistake. A mistake. Kind of like the only way for Special to get back into the game, to stay into the game. Because I don't really see him taking a 5th base in the next 3-4 minutes. If there is a massive Ravager Ling Bane army waiting outside. The moment he tries to take a 5th. Mutas are getting a lot of damage though. This is actually good. I was critical, but this is actually good. 19 workers. That Ling Run By also, of course, indirectly was affected by the Mutas. Like that Ling Run By does not happen if there's no Mutas harassing at the same time. That was the consequence of the Mutas. Kind of distracting Special there. We do have Pathogen Glance on the way. I mean, Armani is in an almost unlosable position at this point, I think. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to win the game in the next 3 minutes, but in the next 8, yeah, perhaps. The next 9, yeah, definitely. Now, if we wait for 10, 15 minutes, it can get close again, because at that point Special has this base, maybe capable of taking this base, and this base becomes really important all of a sudden. And although it's easier for the Zerg to take, it still isn't easy. I mean, Hellion run-bys are easy to launch. Quick to launch from this base to this. Mutas flying around. This is of course a problem when you don't have any medevacs, that you can't really fly Thors there easily. 16 more workers going now. These Mutas have paid for themselves. I did not believe in them. I wasn't a believer. And I did see their faces. But I still didn't believe. There was a trace of doubt in my mind. There really was. Ghosts are coming out, and they will be capable of dealing with these Mutas a little more effectively. +2 vehicle weapons get denied for a second time. Oh, this is not the trend. Vehicle weapons level 1 got denied once. Vehicle weapons level 2 gets denied twice. And then vehicle weapons level 3 gets denied 3 times. It's not quite what you want. These Mutas have paid for themselves. 2-fold, 3-fold, 5-fold. 17 times over. These have been some very effective and even somewhat efficient Mutalisks. But that is rare. It is rare for a Mutalist to be efficient. I'm not sure if they completely were, but I think they got pretty darn close. Neural Parasite is on the way right now. We have the Ultra Cavern happily bobbing its head to the beat of the, what is this called? The Chitinous Plating +2 armor upgrade. And after this we have the Anabolic Synthesis as well, which increases the movement speed of the Ultralisk. Like they weren't fast enough already. Ridiculous. Tanks are being produced 3 at a time. Ghosts are coming out. And if there's one unit that can make the comeback, it is the unit that turns invisible and snipes every Zerg unit in one shot. The Ghost. EMP of course also a useful spell. It's important that these guys are in the correct position though. Uh-oh, here comes Armani. Yeah, that's a good scan. 1 EMP means that these tanks... Oh, Blinding Cloud hits before the EMP hits. That was a really important one, because if these 5 tanks are shooting, together with the Planetary... Oh! Even now, this was a good fight. Look at that. That was a really good fight. Special says, wait a second. Wait a second. Can I move across the map right now? Can I perhaps take out a base? Or at least clear a little bit of creep? Am I allowed to do that? And I think Armani says, no, please stay home. Don't do that. I like this. Moves out on creep. Just clears some tumors. And now I I love this movement. I really like this movement. Leaves 2 tanks behind to deal with this hatchery, and then wants to establish himself a 5th base. This move that Armani just made allows Special to take a 5th base and to clear a lot of creep on the map. And although there's not going to be any big valuable targets that will be won with this, this was a major win. This really was a major win. And Armani is forced to attack into these tanks. It all sucks that these tanks were actually set up together there. Where's the infestors? Where are the infestors? They're burrowed and they're coming from the left side. Single scan could reveal them though. One scan could reveal them. Yeah, there we go. Just earlier they were in that scan range. He needs to be really careful. Infestors, if he loses the infestors here, this arm... Oh, 56 baits. Okay, that's a lot of baits. There's also 15 tanks though. Armies are just really big right now. These tanks are getting some nice pot shots off as well. So the banelings had a different idea. I would prefer if these infestors don't show themselves. I would prefer if they would remain hidden for now. I mean, this is not very hidden at all. Uh-oh. Now I would like these infestors to come in and start knurling a couple of these tanks perhaps in the back. Is it even possible to attack this? Oh, he needs to move in further into position. Special, what are you looking at? Okay, you're looking at your planetary getting blown up. Makes sense. Actually, sorry, that's Armani's vision. My bad. Does Special see it? You can see... Oh my god, gets the scan on all of these infestors. Huge scan. That is absolutely massive right there. Resources lost in favor of Special. Worker count... Well, I would not exactly call that in favor of Special here. His worker count is practically non-existent right now. He has 43 workers. But at the same time, he only has 2 mining bases, so that's the perfect amount of workers for 2 mining bases. These links... Oh, this sensor tower, this forward sensor tower is providing a lot of value. No new infestors are being built either. And I think that these links are all going to end up dying. Single turret could be built here, single scan could be used, and then maybe afterwards a turret build. I think that might not be a bad call here. There's a lot of tanks. There's a lot of tanks in position. +2 vehicle weapons has finished up. +3... Well, let's say the Special just hasn't been capable of finding the money for that yet. Or the time. There's only a single armory remaining, at least that I'm aware of. So I don't think we're ever going to get vehicle plating either. Turrets being built in pretty tight locations. I like that. Ooh. There's no Hellbats here, which means that these links might be capable of doing a little bit more than they should. Oh, there's a meat grinder. Holy crap. Seems like the resources lost there actually not tilting too much further into Special's favor. Sensor tower being built. I'd love for a turret to be placed over here. I think it's absolutely vital, these turrets, to deal with potential infestors. 15 swarm hosts. Switching gears is Armani here. Links will be capable of taking out 1 tank. As long as Special continues mining in this game, and make sure that this top right side base and this bottom, what is this, the 7 o'clock never gets mined either. It might be possible. I'm not saying he's in a favorable position. I'm not saying he's ahead. I'm not saying he has more than a 30% chance of winning, but as long as you stay alive, there is a chance. Because you're always going to be trading better than your opponent. That's just a fact of life. Here come a couple of these swarm hosts moving in. Hellbats would be very useful to have. Hellbats would be very useful to have. Do we have the smart servos? Can we turn them around quickly? No, we can't. Honestly, these locusts did absolutely nothing here. Tanks moving slightly back. I'd love for these Hellions just to stay alive. More Ghost, more Hellions right now, I think, is the answer to this army comp. I mean, there's no real damage output. Special moving out is an interesting move. And it's a move that I'm not completely feeling, to be honest. It is a move that I do not feel. Okay, these EMPers, or what you call them, the infestors are going to get spotted. A couple of snipers go down on the Ravagers. Can we get a big EMP? Do we have another scan available? The lack of orbitals is pretty obvious at this point. Okay, here come the swarm hosts moving in. Special, pay attention, please. Please move these SCVs. There we go. A lot of SCVs do start moving. These tanks might just get taken out, though. 3-4 tanks will die here. And although Special will probably take out this base, he also loses a lot of workers. And yeah, I don't think this actually was a good trade. I think you want to be taking perfect trades at this point. Perfect defensive trades with your Ghost more than taking out bases of your opponent. I don't think it's that important to take out these bases. It is nice, but if you max out on 16 Ghosts, 17 Ghosts, enough Hellbats to deal with the Swarm host, your army is insane. Why aren't we focusing on maxing out right now is my question. Do we have Cloak? No, we do not. We do not have Cloak right now. That could be an issue. That really could be an issue. Another issue is here, this fight that's happening. A couple of Blinding Clouds are being hit. Vipers will get sniped out of the sky. 141 supply against 161 currently. 2.3k minerals still in the bank, as well as 3k gas. Is it possible to go back into Mutas at this point? I think the answer is no. You have 9 more Roaches, 15 more Banes, and 24 more Links being constructed currently. Armani does need to take a good fight at this point. He can't continue with the bad fights. Big EMP? No. Big Fungal instead. Every single Ghost, bar 1, will get hit with that Fungal. 2 Ghosts will stay alive, but as there's no Medivacs in this army, I'm not even sure if that's going to be good enough. Locust Wave is going to cause a lot of trouble here as well. Another Ghost goes down, 2 tanks get taken out. Ling run by in towards that 4 o'clock base as well, and I think right now Special is just that. Does not manage to find stable ground here. Just continues losing more and more units, bleeding out units. And the thing with Swarmos is that it is a snowbally unit. GG gets called. Armani wins game number 3, wins the best of 5, but we will still be playing that final game as well, as there's another $41 on the line. Here we are in the final game of this best of 5, as Armani does not seem to be too keen on playing a long game. Opens up with a 12 pool. Makes a lot of sense, of course, 4-player map. Last time around, Special did not end up scouting whatsoever on the map. Now, what is the goal that Armani wants to achieve with this 12 pool is my question. I do not know. I do not know what you want to achieve with a 12 pool. I'm just extremely unaware. That's fine. I don't mind it. But I guess you want a... Can you even get a straight up win? Isn't there naturally a wall already? He's going to get the worst position as well, by the way. Cross position. It's the longest rush distance. Funnily enough, would have been the best position for an actual game. Often, how longer the map, how larger the map, the better it is for Zerg. Could have played a mean Lingbane Muta in these cross positions. But instead, that's not quite what's happening. Did he just spot that there was nothing there? He did not go up the ramp, though. Oh, there's a trick maybe that he used. I will explain the trick later. Maybe I can even show it to you guys. Because I'm not quite sure if it otherwise would work. I'm not sure if this trick still works either, but I think it might just. So what do we have here? CC? Yeah. Armani does know what's going on. I want to go back into the replay later just to make sure what he did. How did he figure out that he wasn't in the bottom left? Because he did not spot up the ramp. Here come the links, here come the links, here come the links, here come the links. There's no depot, but Reaper is out exactly at this moment. It feels like this is not really supposed to work. I mean, usually you arrive at 155 on a smaller map maybe, 154, and there's 5 seconds without a Reaper. This seems like a terrible plan. This build sucks. Holy crap. He killed 1 SCV and lost 6 links. This legitimately seems like the worst build I've seen in my entire life. I have no clue why anyone would play that. You arrive exactly the moment the Reaper finishes. You only have 6 links. Terran can just wall off behind it. I don't think you'll ever be in time to kill the CC. I think pool first is actually better, because in that case your links arrive when the Reaper is halfway across the map, which makes a lot more sense. This just entirely sucked. What a terrible build order. No offense, of course, to Armani. You feel free to play whatever you want, but I don't think you're going to get a lot of people to copy you. If your goal in life is to have a lot of, people that do exactly like you do, if you want to be a StarCraft influencer of sorts, then perhaps playing 12 pools isn't the way forward. But if you're fine with losing games on Nautilus, then maybe this is the way. Because Spirit is going to follow this up with Stim. We'll have like a 2-on-1 build order here. Starport, reactor as well. I mean, this is hot garbage. This absolutely feels terrible. I'm curious if he's even going to be capable of stopping the first 2 medevacs or the first 3 medevacs. Okay, he's getting a roach war. Now this makes sense, because you would obviously want some type of follow-up that can do something. Reaper's gonna get taken out. Double 2 mores. Moving forward as well. Third base not being taken yet is frustrating. Is the way of the world. Layer. It's 2-base roach. With link speed. 2-base roach with link speed. Now I've seen a lot of build orders. But this is not one of them. I've never seen this before in my life. He opens up with a 12 pool. Goes gasless in the main base. Takes a gas in the natural first. To rush out a layer. Takes double gas in the natural. To rush out the layer. Get a roach warren. And link speed. Now, I am curious what this is going to go into. He's going to play a Roach Muta or just Roaches for safety. And then Evo Chambers to eventually go into Ling Bane, maybe? I have no clue what this is. I am so confused right now. You think he remembers that he started Link Speed? Or right now he's going to hear Upgrade Complete. And he's going to be like, Upgrade Complete? Is my roach speed that fast? He looks over at his spawning pool. He's like, why can't I click the link speed upgrade anymore? He starts hitting himself in the head aggressively. It's going to be double starboard BC as a follow-up. That's a cool build, actually. 16 Marine into double starboard BC. Also feels like one of those builds where perhaps Armani could actually make a comeback against. There's 11 roaches out. Okay, the link speed is a mystery to me. There's no way that was intentional. He accidentally hit a hotkey or something like that. Then didn't look in his main base for 5 minutes. I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked. Okay, here comes the stim forward. We'll take out 1 roach. We'll take out 2 roaches. Pick up. Also loses 3 marines. Honestly, not the greatest thing. Look at that rapid fire creep spread over there. Brrr. Throws down 17 creep tumors at the same time. Beautiful stuff. I have a feeling, a prediction, some may say, that these BCs will teleport across the map. And that there's going to be 4 queens without any upgrades on them at that point still. Maybe there will be 1 upgrade. No, I don't think either of them will be done yet. No spores. No spire. No Hydra then. Nothing that shoots up. Except these 4 queens. And these 2 battlecruisers will jump into the same base. They will kill the first queen without any issue. And then Armani will tap out. Because there's no way that he's winning this game. He has a pure roach army playing against someone that is messing out air units. And then going into bio. These build orders or something else. Alright, let's follow these BCs. Will he wait for 1 queen to die, or does he just immediately tap out the moment he sees the BCs come in? Oh, 1 queen dies. 2nd queen dies. Question mark GG. Special laughs for a final time. Of course, Armani will win the series 3-2. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for the Oli Molik for providing me with these replays. If you also want these replays, be sure to check out patreon.com/OliMolik, and you can get them if you have a small contribution. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all next time, and bye bye.